What's up, you guys? This is your boy Miguel giving you your daily dose of radiation, here to educate the younger peeps. Some advice for those who are applying to the Xray Tech program. So, my best advice is, depending on what stage you are, let's say you got into college, you're like, you have a game plan, and you're like, yo, I want to be Xray Tech. That's what I want. And if you were like me, who's not as smart as the other Sheldons in your college, as you feel like I'm just the average Joe, you'll usually, your program, the Xray Tech program, has a little piece of paper. They'll say, hey, these are all the classes you need to qualify to the program. We look at it, okay, try to get the highest grade. I think I got A on almost everything except like 1 or 2 classes. Everything else was an A. And then it's like, okay, everyone you know who's gonna apply is gonna do that. And then you have the little tiny bottom. It'll say, for certain places, extra points. You need them. That's probably how I got in, because I wasn't that smart. Those extra points are like, oh, every extra like core class type deal, you'll get a point or a half a point that can be added into your thing. So like what it was like, if you took another math, or if you took more core classes, which were basically anything to get general associates. Those seemed like to be the classes that they had on the sheet. I was like 1 class away from completing said associates, like the basic associates. So I got a few extra points from that. And then I think it said if you had some kind of experience in the medical field, like if maybe you were like a phlebotomist or CNA or something like that, you would probably had a little extra point. Or if you went to like the hospital and you did like what I call the scouting, you would shadow some hours, you would probably end up with some extra points too. They would give you. So I would try to get as many of those as possible under your belt. Those help a lot. They add up. So you could start there and do that. Other people I've seen that they just took literally the bare basics of what they needed, that the bare minimum, and they got in because, they were really smart. And other people, they've applied, they haven't been as smart, like academically, but I guess the way they carry themselves or the way the interview happened, they saw potential if he can be a very good future Xray Tech. So I'd probably be a mix of both. Not really smartest, but that's the way to go there. And I would say focus on your science classes. Try to peep, especially your anatomy. Those will literally gauge you, are like the first bosses of the entering any medical field, your anatomy classes. If you're struggling there, I don't think you hear me. If you're struggling in anatomy 1 and 2, I'm sorry. You're probably not gonna make it, bro. If you I'm talking about, you have a C, like a low C, or just a C, you're probably not gonna make it through the Xray Tech program. I'm just keeping it real with you, because I didn't believe my teacher. I didn't believe the classmate in front of me about that. I mean, I was doing good. I mean, it was like a low A, but he's like, it's a different beast, the radiation program. I didn't believe this man. And I'm like, it wasn't until you actually got in there and you started, you understand. So I'm just saying, even my teacher made it like one of the students kind of cry, because he didn't want to like shit on their dreams or nothing, but he was just like, yo, if you struggling right now, like you barely passing this class, he's like, I'm sorry, you're probably not gonna make it. That kind of gives you a good gauge of what to expect. Because for certain people, those classes are really, really hard. Are they hard for, like, just a lot of stuff to be congested into? You just got and then regurgitate it in a short amount of time. And now imagine you double that or even triple that, because sometimes class stuff like stacks on top of each other. And you essentially got to go no life, especially if you have a little bit of a life. Then yeah. So let's say you made it through anatomy and you're doing good. You know, you got it, and then you apply to the program. Usually when you apply, they'll ask you to take some kind of like submit an essay, or like submit, I think it's like a standardized test, so you can make sure you're able to read cognitively reading. I think ours is the TSI. No, the Nelson-Denny. Sorry, the Nelson-Denny test was ours. If you're able to read at a college level, well, medical type stuff. I mean, I don't know how accurate that is to begin with, because when I first applied to college, it said I was reading at a 10th grade reading level, and I was like, well, I'll be damned. Kind of, you know. But I mean, I made an A in both of the English classes. So, I mean, I guess you just gotta work hard. So it is possible for those 75 C's get degrees type people. It is possible. Living proof. So let's say you all do that, and then you go into the interview. I think the interview, as long as like you get there early, and then, you know, ask the right questions, you just kind of, you know, carry yourself. Don't be nervous. They're probably going to give you some kind of task or some kind of medical problem to get your insights to see how you babies. Like, as long as you don't fumble at the bag, you should be pretty good. I know you get nervous because you're like, wait, if I'm doing this, imagine everyone else stacking against you trying to. But here's the deal. Some people will apply to a bunch of schools, which, granted, our field in general doesn't have that many colleges compared to nursing. My lady a nurse, to give you perspective. Almost every college I've seen here locally, they offer some kind of nursing. Either RN or BSRN, or, you know, masters at whatever. The nursing is everywhere. Like, we don't have that many. I think in mine there was like maybe, it was like my college, one that was an hour away, another one that was like 2 hours, 3 hours away. So not as many. So as long as you do that, you should be pretty good, I feel like. Because, I mean, they'll give you the simple, I mean, every, you know, admission will be different. But for the general gist, I mean, from what I've heard from all the texts, it's like the same shebang. It's like, why do you want to do it? Could you, because they're like, okay, can you make it through the program? Here's kind of a simple intake of what it is expected. How do you think you'll handle yourself? And then they flip it, and it's like, okay, as far as the medical side, are you going to be able to handle this and that of being an Xray? Are you going to be able to juggle this, work holidays, do this and that? And your answer is always yes. If you want it bad, even if you can't, you say yes, God damn it, and you do that, because that is expected of you. You're gonna get dragged, especially, well, unless you work like at a clinic. It's like Monday through Friday. If you work at a hospital like I do, you will get dragged into working the weekends or being on call. That's part of the game. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe you'll be on call on the weekends. Maybe you work every other weekend. It's just part of the deal. Just letting y'all know. So, I would say they may even give you links. Like, they might send you an email like, hey, you got accepted. Here's some links to what to expect about the Xray. You click on them, You just look over them, do a little scan, because they asked me questions about that, and thank God I did look at it, and I got some knowledge. Because the first question was, "Hey, what do you think about the link we sent you about blah blah blah?" And I was like, I do remembers that. You said blah blah blah, and they're like, correct. So I would say that is something you should look into. And I mean, I know it's nerve-wracking, it's your future degree and stuff like that. And other people are like, oh, if I don't get in, I'll go do nursing. If you really want to be X-ray, do that. Because, keep it real with you, my lady's a nurse, and she's miserable every day, bro. Every day my lady's is miserable. Come home tired. Yeah, she might make more money, a little bit more money, because she's LVN. But she comes, I be coming home, I be living life. It worth it. Tell you that much. It worth it. Do it. I was gonna do nursing, and I'm thankful I don't. It worth it. And if you're worried about the money, you can push CT. You can do MRI. There's options to make more money. Keep up with these nurses. Don't worry about that. The money's out there. So, hope this helps. It's been your boy Miguel. See ya on the next one.